some people claim that we've been using the constraints-led approach to learn jiu-jitsu for a really long time, and recently we've just renamed what we're already doing, and I kind of agree with them. It's a really common thing to have heard that some black belts maybe don't learn technique in class, they just do sparring and force the technique and do it from there to practice it. So what they've essentially done is they've found an environment where there's an opportunity to use a movement solution, then they've got a resisting and unscripted response from their opponent, and then they look to find find opportunity to use that technique and then pull it off. That's essentially what we're doing with the constraints-led approach. Maybe we want it to be a little bit more broad rather than trying to pull off a particular technique, but all the other aspects are essentially there. I think the issue is that this isn't very applicable for more junior grades. You can't really force this unless you're significantly better than your partner who you're sparring against. So you don't really have the chance to do this. What we use the constraints-led approach for is to give that opportunity to people who don't know how to do these things, and then give them guidance on what they should be looking for in order to solve a particular problem, like a bit of a guard pass or isolating an arm or something like that. So I actually think we have been using the constraints-led approach, or at least some people have been using the constraints-led approach in some ways. I think that the reason we're codifying things at the moment, why we're talking about ecological dynamics and the constraints-led approach, is not to completely upend everything about how we're training and learning jiu-jitsu. It's about doubling down on the stuff that's really important and giving guidance and opportunities to people of all different levels in order to learn using the most effective methods, rather than sending them off into sparring and letting them have to learn it themselves. We give a bit more guidance to speed that process along.